All right. So for those of y'all that don't know, we are in Phoenix, Arizona, and it is currently hot as fuck. It's even hot in my little room with all my equipment going. It heats up in here. So Bo just brought the story up. It wasn't our original plan, but it's close to Mesa, which is part of the greater Phoenix area. It's the biggest other city in Phoenix. And you were just telling me about this video. Tell me more about what you saw. This is my first of looking at it.
Yeah, so basically,
Oof.
this dude got arrested, and it didn't look like he was doing nothing. I mean, it looked like he was probably talking back to him, like he was probably popping shit, saying,
Being smart.
"Oh, fuck you, cop," whatever, whatever. But this one big black dude just walks up to him and just starts stealing on him. I mean, and just he literally knocks him out.
Is this
And
him right here?
what's up?
Is that the cop right there? Oh.
Nah, the cop is a
Oh, I
bald
see
dude.
him
I
now.
don't.
There he is. Oof. Damn! And he's just eating
Yeah,
that into the wall.
he didn't do nothing. That's what I didn't understand.
Look at,
Like you don't visibly see him. He doesn't like walk toward
and he's
anybody.
not in
He doesn't.
danger. They're holding him down. He's fine. They've got him. He's taking out his frustration. You know what I mean? Look at
Yeah,
how
he got into a fight. He got into a fight with his wife and went to work. That's what that is, man. Like,
yeah, exactly. You got to fight with a fucking girlfriend, and now
yeah,
fucking this guy's getting it. His girlfriend just
and
told
now
him,
this
"Fuck you,
guy
don't talk to
is.
me."
Yeah, I mean, it's just it just is disappointing, man. Because first of all, as a black man, you should already know how tough it is out here, or not even black, brown, anything that looks like
That's
it's
not
not.
white. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough situation. So how you gonna do that to your own people, man? Like I don't, man, I don't know. I just
I don't. We don't. I. I'm not an advocate for it. I'm very upset with the police right here, and I actually don't trust the Mesa Police Department by far, probably out of all of them the most. Uh, or that organization, whatever. But I don't know what else happened here. But I can tell you that in this video, no one looks in danger except for the person in cuffs. And look how he's eating these fucking punches, bro. Look at this. His
that's
head
what
is
I'm
backed
saying.
against that fucking wall. He's not even got. Oh man, this guy's huge too. Look at him. He
That's what I'm
practices
saying.
fucking doing
And
that.
he's throwing overhand rights. It's like these aren't light punches he's throwing. Like these are like haymaker joints. Like
Damn, look at. Oh, and he knees him right there. Look at that. Are you looking at this? Look at him kneeing him in the gut. Watch me. Grabs him by the back of his neck. He knows what he's
yeah,
doing. He practices this shit. He's like a fighter.
yeah. He probably goes to an MMA gym somewhere in Mesa.
Damn!
Like
Oh, that elbow. He fucked him up. Dude, this Mesa department. First off, um, I know. I don't think I know how you feel about most political things because or not most, but a lot of them because we talk about them. But I know no one's ever said like I'm this or I'm this. But so I don't know where you stand. But I would say that I know that Mesa specifically is. I saw an article the other day. Mesa is considered the most conservative city in the country.
in
Uh,
the country.
in the country, bigger than any city in Texas or New Mexico. Mesa. I feel like my Angel said this the other day. My roommate, he said he's actually been saying this for a while. He says Arizona's brand, as far as politics, is kind of seemed to emerge as this thing where we're not as big as Texas, but we're just as crazy. Like I really feel like Arizona just tries to compete almost with how conservative they can get with we have our PIO and all this other shit. And this isn't the first time Mesa's been in trouble in recent memory. The police department, they had that cop that shot that drunk guy that was laying on the ground. It turns out later the cop used to write on his gun like "no survivors" or "fuck everybody" or some crazy shit. And he was all into like this idea of killing people and used to. I just think that there's a pattern here, and it doesn't seem like good things are going on at this department.
So I know Arizona's a really red state. I've had a lot. Oh, I take it back. In my earlier life, up until I moved here, honestly, I had a lot of run-ins with police. Usually, like a couple of them were pretty intense. I remember once um, we were in a city in Illinois called Stone Park. Stone Park. We were at a club. The club let out. My buddy, like being a dumbass, he wanted to go to this porno store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then go in there and steal a bunch of magazines. Okay. So what we were kind of tipsy, whatever. So all right, let's go do it, whatever. So we do it. I hold the door open. We get the stuff. We get in the car. Well, these cops pull us over. Now we freaking out because we think it's because we just stole a bunch of stuff from this pawn shop. But really, it's because they looking for somebody. So they make us get out the car. My friend who's driving, he starts stuttering. They pull a gun on him,
Damn.
put us all on the hood of the car, put the guns to our backs. They're threatening us. They say stuff like, "Oh, you know, a lot of kids don't even make it home from out this way." Just all this crazy stuff. But I'll tell you what, since I moved to Arizona, I haven't had an issue at all.
You
A
know
matter
what?
of fact,
Go
matter
ahead.
of
Go ahead.
fact, I was delivering pizzas. I used to be a pizza delivery driver. I got pulled over for not for my tags being expired. The cop pulls me over on the freeway, and he lets me go because he sees I'm working.
Right.
So I've had good experience. So I can't really speak to like a bad police experience. But then again, I've never been pulled over in Mesa, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I can't as a white person. I have very rare experiences where police treat me bad, and it's usually when I'm with other colored people. So it's you know what I mean. To be honest with you, so I can't really speak on it necessarily personal experience in that way. I could tell you that what I would say is this: while this area is really conservative, I would just say, um, with the exception of kind of like the more hardcore gang areas in California and stuff, I think that racism between whites and blacks seems to be a lot less uh, heated than it is on the East Coast to me. In the few times I've been over there, in the East
Mm-hmm.
Coast, I've spent very little time in the Midwest, but I heard it's a bit of the same. I feel like out here the racism is a little bit different. I don't know how else to put it than that.
What I've noticed out here is people just don't care about you.
Yeah,
Like it's not like they won't go out of their way to hate you. In the Midwest, I've seen that for sure. Like they'll go out of their way to make sure you understand they don't want you there. I
right.
had a buddy when I was living in the Midwest. I had a buddy, a great friend. His name is Luke, and he lived in Southern Illinois. And he told me when I came to visit him because we worked together for a bunch of years, and then he moved back home, so I was going down to see him, and I was gonna hang out for the day or whatever. And he said, "Hey man, I just want to let you know you gotta leave by like 5." And I thought that was weird. I'm like, oh, I mean that's cool. And he goes, "Well, you know this is a sundown town." And I was like, "What the hell does that mean?" He's like, "Well, I don't mean disrespect, but like you probably wouldn't want to be here after it got dark." And that dude, he is the nicest dude. I mean, this dude is
He's
the
probably just keeping
purest.
it real with you.
Yeah, no, he was being my boy. He was being my friend, saying, "Look, I don't want anything to happen to you." So it wasn't like any kind of a mean spirited thing. He just saying, "Look, man, like it's not safe for you." And so that's how racism is back there. Not everywhere in the Midwest, but in some places. But here it's just like folks just won't talk to me, or they'll just be like they
Right.
won't look at me. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. I'm
Yeah,
like that's
whatever. I'll take
yeah.
that over the other shit.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why this actually surprised me a little bit, because I mean, all police forces have issues, but when I just saw the way they were just hauling off on dude, I'm like, even if he was, because here's my thing: if you talk shit to the cops and they punch you in the face, I'm not saying they should do that. They shouldn't do that,
No.
but you also shouldn't talk shit. You
Right,
know,
right.
like,
That's fair. That's very fair.
but this dude right here, it didn't look like he was really doing anything. I'm sure he was saying some things, but like, it's 5 of y'all, man. Like,
I just don't get playing with fire. I mean, if I'm dealing with the police, also like I'll tell you this too, because we talked a lot about this sort of thing. I'm a big I'm not trying to save the world necessarily. I know what I think is wrong, and I like to speak on it. And I feel like this is a good way to do that. Just talking about it on here,
for
but
sure.
and voting right and doing all that other shit. But and not saying it for racism when you see it. All that being aside, like if I get pulled over with police, I'm not trying to fight any political battles right there. I'm trying to get the fuck away from the cops and not be in trouble.
Well, and
So
that's the thing. That's the thing my mom always told me. She said, "Look, if you ever get pulled over, just be nice, just
right,
be polite. Don't try to make no waves." And she even told me, she's like, "Don't even ask why they pulled you over." Which I thought, I'm like, but then her point was like, it doesn't fucking matter. They've already done it.
yeah,
So they can have 100 million reasons, but that's not the time you want to have that battle. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
so,
Start easy too, and then if you get pissed later, it's a little bit different.
well, at least like you can deal with things if you're still alive to deal with them. You know,
Exactly.
if you like provoke the beast, they got pistols on them. You by
Right, and they're
yourself.
allowed
I
to use
mean,
them.
right? Exactly. So for me, like you do got to make better decisions. But I mean, if he was talking shit and the cop would have hit him once, would it have been wrong? Absolutely. But all right,
This is
but
something
he
else.
beats his ass. Like,
Right. It's
he
fucking
beats his ass, man.
damn. And he's not in any danger. He's got all these guys with him and shit. And so it's one of those things where it's just I just don't see it. And look, he's done. Like, and then they still kick his ass more.
And then, to your thing, you always point this out. How often does this happen when it's not caught?
Right. Already.
How often is this happening, like, and it's not captured? So that's the like.
I wonder how this
scary
even
part.
leaked.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. That's a phenomenal question.
The department
I would
released the
love to
video.
find. I would love to find that out too. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, man, based on your observations, I'm not gonna ride through Mesa at night. That's not gonna happen.
Shit. Yeah, I'm not trying to hang out there on the ground level. I'll tell you that for sure. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
didn't
just
know it was that conservative though. That blew my mind to hear that. That's crazy.
yeah, it's more conservative than the city of Phoenix. It's my understanding.
Yeah, no, it would make sense too. It's a lot of rural areas in Mesa, so it makes sense.
Right.
So
But
let's keep
shit.
it cracking, bro. What we got next?